my life, I've always put it away and stored it, and I never dealt with it. Like I've only cried a few times in my life. I've cried before, and sometimes it hits me. But like I used to cry a lot when I was a kid. But like every time I have trauma, I put it in my back of my brain. I'm very desensitized. My brain is very desensitized. You know what I'm saying? It's like I almost. It's just like, how do I put this? My brain works really weird. Like I don't feel feelings sometimes because I'm surface and whenever I like disconnect myself, I can feel things, and I can feel love, and I can feel passion, I can feel stuff. But sometimes
whenever you disconnect yourself, you feel things.
Disconnect from the internet mainly. Like go basically like go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Get away from all of this.
Get away from everything. Take a little break. Go travel somewhere without having to work. Take time off of streaming. It really helps me find myself again. Connect myself to reality. Where was I? Sorry. Oh, the desensitization of my brain. That's my biggest issue I have today. It's like it's super hard for me to sometimes feel things and just kind of like I don't know. It's almost like I'm emotionless. Like I feel like I beat the game.
What do you mean by beat the game?
Like
what's the game?
When I was coming in to like, entering the streaming game, I had goals in the back of my head. And the goals in the back of my head were set your parents up for life, put some money in your bank account, meet some of your heroes and idols, and you did it. And the excitement and hunger I had when conquering this, like the grind part, the grind aspect, was honestly, I couldn't realize it, but when I was grinding, that was like the peak feeling of me when I was accomplishing all this stuff. I've talked to a lot of the people that I look up to throughout my life, and I've met them, and I've had conversations with them, and I got this, and I got that, and I did that, and I did this, and I just feel like I've kind of already conquered a lot of the things, like at a really young age.
Sure. And what does it feel like to conquer things at a young age?
Like I beat the game.
And how does that feel?
I don't know. I honestly, man, it's fucked up because honestly, like that's what drives me crazy sometimes. Like, what do I do now? Like, what do I do? You know what I mean?
Sure. And I'm hearing that you really almost enjoy grinding.
Of course, when I was in the grind and I had a hunger and I was boom, 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 getting all my goals and results and stuff, it's like that shit was everything to me. Like that was you could see the hunger.
Chat, I'm about to fuck this up, dog. Y'all about to watch it.
I'll never have that hunger again. It's true. I don't believe I will. Well, I don't believe I will. I wish I would, but I don't think that hunger exists anymore. Like I'm hungry in other ways. Like now, sometimes when I want to make like amazing content, like I want to do new things, I just think about my community and what got me here today. Like my community has been here through the shitty moments, the good moments, the good content, the bad content. It's like now all I care about is just doing shit for that, my core. I don't care about anything else but my core. I want to make good content for my core because my core's been here through everything for me. So
it sounds like you had some goals that were, and let me know if this word rubs you the wrong way, a little bit more selfish before.
Definitely. No. My main set goal was to just get rich, take care of my family, and have somebody to put aside for me, and that was it. I would say my goal was never selfish. Like once my first purchase was a Lamborghini at 19, I think. But like, you're right. I guess you are right. My first goal, I would say it was selfish.
Yeah, and I was thinking about a better word, because I think it's like okay to have selfish goals, like it's okay to want stuff from life.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it to be derogatory, and that's why I was like,
no, you're good.
I just couldn't find a better word.
I think. Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, no problem.
I think when you're in grind mode, like anyone that's grinding towards something, like, I don't really know too much about you, but like when you're grinding for like, let's just say you went to Harvard, right?
Sure.
When you were grinding to get to Harvard, when I was grinding to become a streamer, you kind of have to be selfish because like, let's just say like in a way, like you're grinding to in a selfish way, like where you have to just do you basically before you can really aid and take care of others. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of have.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very reasonable way to look at things. Interestingly enough, I would say in my case, it was sort of the opposite. There was a time in my life where I was grinding to get into Harvard and I was nowhere near. And then there was a time in my life where I gave that up and wasn't interested in being the best or accomplishing anything really. And paradoxically, that's what ended up getting me there. But, you know, I think that what you're saying makes perfect sense. And so I'm kind of curious, like when you were grinding and accomplishing stuff, it sounds like you got a Lamborghini at the age of 19, which is like, that's rare, man.
It's like below one, it's like what, like point something percent of just doing that. There's people that don't even have fucking houses and food, bro. And I'm over here buying a Lamborghini at 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like super desensitizing.
What's desensitizing about it?
I think in general, at 19, having a load of money and not knowing what to do with it, never being taught what to do with money, never being taught how to use it, how to utilize it. And I'm 19, I buy a Lamborghini. It's like, it doesn't make sense. I don't even have a house yet. My parents aren't even good yet. I just think it's super desensitizing making money to buy a Lamborghini at 19. I just think having a lot of money and not knowing what to do with it at 19 is just crazy. You know what I mean?
So I think there's something really, that sounds like an important discovery, but I don't understand it. So how does buying a Lamborghini at 19, how does that connect to desensitizing? Can you help me understand that? I think you're onto something. I just don't.
Yeah. I think what I'm trying to say is like, maybe it's the wrong word I'm using. Like,
I don't think so, man.
Well, it's desensitizing buying a Lamborghini at 19 in general because it's like, you're not, I don't know, I just feel like not every 19-year-old's doing that. You know what I'm saying? So when you come into that, like, I don't know, like when you come in and you go buy a Lamborghini at 19 without having houses and all these things and stuff, it's like, I never knew how to manage money. Like, I never knew how to, like, do that. And right now, if I go back at 19, I had the funds I had, I would tell myself, don't buy a Lamborghini right now.
And then what would you have done if you told yourself? If Aiden Ross in the future showed up to 19-year-old Aiden Ross and was like, bruh, don't buy a Lambo, what would 19-year-old Aiden Ross have done?
I think I would have literally said, give it to your parents because they know what to do. You know what I mean?
That's what the older you would have said. What would the younger you have done?
Oh, you're saying younger than now?
No. So like if you were 19, right? Let's say you could travel back in time.
Okay.
And you could talk to your 19-year-old self. And 22-year-old Aiden was like, don't buy a Lambo, give it to your parents. What would 19-year-old you have done?
Fuck you, I'm buying a Lamborghini.
Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so when you say desensitized, maybe I can offer something and let me know. So I'm getting a sense that when you're grinding, you feel really good, right? Because you're putting in effort and then you're seeing those numbers or whatever those metrics are. And then after you get it, there's like, you feel nothing?
Not nothing. So I'll explain it. When you're grinding towards something, you get a high. After I would do a viral stream or a viral moment, I would get high off of it. It would give me some type of like release of chemicals in my brain to make me like, okay, keep going. This is amazing. I love the attention, the what I'm gaining from this. I love the money. I love the dopamine release. I love it. I want more of it. I want to keep. What's next? How do I go viral again? How do I do it again? How do I go again? How do I gain more followers? How do I gain out of this? The cloud, it's an addiction. It's addictive. It's a drug. Because you're gaining. When you keep gaining and gaining and gaining, it's a high. You know. So I wouldn't say I feel nothing now. I just don't care anymore. Like I don't care as much as I did before. Like if I was stuck on a very, very small core community that just loves me and cares for me and will watch me do anything. And I don't really care about the crazy numbers anymore. I don't really care about doing crazy viral stuff anymore. Like I just don't. Like, I care to make good content, but like the crazy viral moments and stuff that I was doing back in the day, I don't need to put myself in that position anymore.
What's changed?
I would say growing up a little more, going through a lot, doing a lot. I would say having more money now. I would just say, honestly, yeah, I would just say more experience in this shit as well.
In what ways have you grown up, Aiden?
Experience. I think I'm not 100% mature yet. I'm not. I've still have a lot to learn. I'm still super young, and I make dumb decisions all the time. I don't know, man. I think I still got a lot more growing up to do, but I think I'm in a better place now than I was when I was back in 21, 20. You know,
How were you different 1 or 2 years ago? What was the place you were in?
less money, different living situation. You know, I would say less, like just less experience in general in my career as well. So different people around me got, you know, I don't really speak with anymore. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
So no, it's totally cool, dude. I was just kind of, so I'm a little bit confused because, like, on the one hand, I'm sort of hearing that back in the day, when your head was in the game, you felt good. You're grinding, you're getting that dopamine rush. You use the word addiction, which is, I mean, that's a powerful word, man. And at the same time, it sounds like you felt really good. And I'm sort of almost hearing you kind of say that you're in a better place now, but you like don't feel as good in some way. Like, does that kind of make? I'm sort of.
It does. I don't feel fulfillment and high anymore after having a viral moment. Does that make sense? Like if I see a viral moment or viral clip now, I'll just laugh about it and scroll right past it. I don't care anymore as I would care back in 2021. I would be super like, oh my god, I gotta do more of this. I gotta do that. I gotta do this. I just don't really care for it anymore.
Which one do you prefer, the way you are now or the way you used to be?
Nah, all about pleasing a core that cares about me than a trendy audience that doesn't really give two shits about me, for sure.
Okay. And is being fulfilled and being high the same thing?
What do you mean?
So you said, like, you don't get the sense of fulfillment, you don't feel as high anymore. I don't mean like drugs, I mean like what you're talking about.
I feel at peace. I feel I'm cool with what I have. I feel comfortable. I feel good.
You feel at peace now?
At peace, because back when I was in that 2021 mode, I was nervous and horribly going, like, mentally destroyed, because I would always have to think about what I got to do the next day to go viral, otherwise I'm gonna fall off. You know what I'm saying? Like I was on a mission still, trying to grind and trying to figure things out and try to just going down this little upscale or blow up, you know?
So I'm kind of hearing that, like, it's quite a roller coaster, dude. So like on the one hand, there's like the thrills and it's like, hell yeah, you feel that energy. What's next, baby? But at the same time, maybe there's like anxiety, like maybe I can't do it, like,
yeah,
you know, doubt.
Literally, yes. Self-doubt, just a lot of like overthinking, man. Just like straight up, just, you know.
What do you mean by overthinking?
I just thought if I didn't top this stream, I was gonna fall off and everyone would leave me. And I just thought, like, if I didn't do this right, or you know, if I didn't, you know, figure out a way to do this stream better and figure it out, then my whole community was gonna leave me. I really did. I thought everyone would leave.
And what? So you mentioned that, like, who you hang out with or something has changed. What's happened to your community, your connections?
I had a different living arrangement. You know, back when my name in 2020, when I was first blowing up, a lot of people would hit me up. I had a lot of fake people in my life at that time. I had a lot of people who were just straight up, just not. I had a lot of people in my life that weren't there. Like, my living arrangement was there. I was in a whole content house. Okay, I was in a house full of people who do content creation as well on the internet, and it was a different environment. I was living in work, if that makes sense. Like, I was living, I would wake up to a messy ass room to a stream I did the day before. And I would, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would wake up to that. Like, if I was in my streaming room the other day and I completely broke, like, this one stream I did, I broke like this concrete stuff with a hammer. just completely different. Like it was just, I was living in work. I felt too much work, you know?
And how are you living now?
Happier for sure. I now don't live in work. If I want to take a day off and lay in bed, watch TV and just take one thing at a time and not live in work and go outside, and it's a lot better. I do.
What's it like? Yeah.
I do sometimes get lonely though, I'm not gonna lie. But what you writing down there, doctor?
I mean, I've written a ton of shit. Why are you so focused on what I'm writing now?
I'm just kidding. I know. I didn't even write it.
I don't think you're kidding.
Well, no, I'm saying like I know you've been writing this whole time. Like I don't really care what you've been writing. I mean, I know you were just taking notes.
Is there something about? Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
But I've been asking you. It's kind of silly. So what I'm signaling to you is I think. What was it like to say you get lonely sometimes?
I've always lived with work, so I've always had people around. And now that I live alone, it's different because now I live alone. I don't live with family. I don't live with parents. I used to have a girlfriend, I used to live with her. I don't live with her. Obviously broke up. I live alone, right? So it's like for me, it's like, it's different. You know, I get lonely sometimes.
Sounds lonely.
Yeah, it is. But I have friends, and I have, my parents close by and stuff, so it is what it is.
Can I think for a second?
Think. Is he diagnosing me, Chad? What's he doing?
Chad, I just had fucking Zaxby's and that shit was fucking. Y'all saw me motherfucking bash that shit, yo. Y'all saw me bash that shit, bro.
I'm gonna need a second, okay?
Take your time.
Is it okay to be lonely?
Yes, it is. I used to think it wasn't, but it is.
Help me understand that.
It's okay to be lonely. It's okay to not have to rely on somebody for happiness. It's okay to find yourself, find happiness within yourself. Like you don't need to be always with somebody. You're allowed to be lonely and find happiness and sleep alone, and you're allowed to do that stuff. I think doing that sometimes can be good for people. I think people need to find themselves by being alone.
Okay. I'm going to just share a couple thoughts. Let me know, it's kind of like a shot in the dark. Like normally I talk to people a little bit more, but you let me know what sits with you and what doesn't. So the first thing is you kind of mentioned, early on that you sort of feel numb. Or desensitized, I think was the word that you used. And I just heard, because you see, I don't get that from you. So you seem pretty animated. You seem actually pretty in touch with your feelings. Like you got a really poetic description of the grind and how it's addictive and it makes you feel good, but it comes at a cost, right? Like there are the high highs, there are the low lows. Yes. And the scary thing about the grind is even when you're flying at the top, in the back of your mind, there's okay, is this plane gonna crash? And then it can feel really good to have those thoughts and beat them back with something growing bigger and getting more viral and so it's almost like you're conquering your demons because you have all these doubts and stuff and you're going higher and you're going higher and you're going higher and as you put it, you beat the game. And then I saw a couple things from you that I just haven't seen before, except when you mentioned the loneliness. So the first thing is you called attention to me writing, which I know. I mean, I've been writing the whole time, and I know I've been writing the whole time, but there seemed to be something what I actually felt in that moment is a little bit of a sensitivity, what are you writing? There's what did I just show you that you fucking caught? Is honestly what it felt like to me. And then you also said it is, and then I asked you hey, is it okay to be lonely? And you kind of said, yeah, right. Which I think you're a smart guy, and I think that you use your mind to deal with a lot of your stuff. I don't know how else to put it. And then you gave like a really positive answer, right? Like it's okay to be lonely. It's okay to like feel these things. And then you kind of said it is what it is, which is something that people say when something is not good.
Well, there's perks, there's pros and cons with everything, right? I think there's times where I'm like, damn, I wish I had somebody with me. I wish I could enjoy life with somebody. I wish I can, you know what I'm saying? I think, you know, there's pros and cons of everything. I think, you know, when you saw me, I knew you were writing this entire time. When you saw me talk about the loneliness part, I mean, like, look, man, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's good to be lonely, but there's times where I also wish I wasn't lonely. Of course, I'll admit it. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean, so that too. It's kind of like there's pros and cons, right? So like, I'm with you. There's pros and cons to being lonely. There's pros and cons to being married. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I think intellectually it's spot on, but I'm kind of noticing that like anytime you kind of come up on emotion, your mind kind of steps in and sort of says like, oh, there are pros and cons, right? It's okay to kind of feel this way, but something interesting happens is that you actually move away from the feeling by saying that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I like I said, my emotions are fucked. Like, I feel like I don't feel sometimes. I try to step away. I try to move away. I try to get away from the feeling part of things sometimes.
Yeah, and why do you think your emotions are fucked?
Throughout my whole life, I've always had trauma, and I've always not really like through it. I've always kind of just like put it to the side.
Do you feel comfortable sharing? I mean, I don't think this is the place to really air out all your traumas, but can you help me understand? Huh?
Yeah. So the most traumatic thing that ever happened to me was, check this out, right? This is a story. When I was 12, I was sleeping. My uncle came in, stabbed me with a knife in my sleep. You can see the mark right there, it's a scar. Like, and he thought I worked for the FBI. He was on some meth.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. I was 12 years old, and in my sleep, and I woke up to a knife, and I pulled it out when I went to the hospital. Yep.
How does it feel to say that?
I don't care. They make jokes about it with me. They've actually helped me out a lot. You know.
Who's they?
My stream. My chat, my audience. Like my viewers.
What joke? I'm confused.
Well, they just make me, like, I think sometimes humor fills voids in a way. Like sick, dark, twisted jokes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I think my audience, my viewers sometimes help me, like, they make jokes about it. So it's like, it makes it like a little bit, try to add light to the darkness of it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds, I mean, humor is a way that human beings cope with stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, so even though that was kind of physically traumatic, how did you understand that? Did it bother you?
At a young age, I didn't. And my parents told me, they said, you don't have to go to school for however long you want. We're going to put you in therapy. We're going to do all these things and all that. And I said, nah, I want to go to school. It happened on a Friday. I said, I want Friday night after school. I said, nah, I'm going to school Monday. They got me a cast. I went to school. I made up a lie to everybody in my class. I said that I tripped on a rusty nail. I forgot what I said. And I ran with it.
I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hard 12-year-old, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And I think I left out something as well. I also witnessed my grandparents having sex at 8 years old as well. Kind of witness in a way, shadows and noises and stuff.
Well, so it's kind of interesting because you call that trauma, and like it's definitely trauma.
Yeah, for sure it is.
And yet, like what I'm actually getting the most of you from, or what I'm feeling the most of from you, is actually like pride.
Not pride. I just try to bring it pride. I try to bring light to it. It is dark. Don't get me wrong, doctor. It is dark. It's fucked up. I just try to bring light to the situation. Like, I think adding a piece and a scent of dark humor to stuff is, in my opinion, the best way to kind of put light over it. Like, it's like, I just like, that's how I guess I've been dealing with it. I've always just cracked dark, crazy dark jokes.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I think literally, like, we can talk about this if you want to at some point, but
I'd love to.
I literally earlier today, let's see if I can find this.
My grandparents passed away now, Chaz. Please don't make any jokes. Thank you.
No, I'm actually reading a bunch of papers about coping mechanisms and trauma.
Yeah.
And just how they kind of change and stuff. But it's kind of interesting. So I'm noticing that you bring a lot of positive to the negative.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at it like this, and people always sometimes are like, damn, I wish when I was growing up I didn't have it like that. And I wish sometimes like it would be easier and stuff. And I don't want to sound ignorant. There's definitely people that have had it way worse than me. But I've been through some stuff, you know what I mean? Probably there's people that are going to hear this that have been through way, way worse than me, you, etc. Right? So I don't want to sound ignorant, but I think that you got to sometimes take the cards you're dealt with and just try your hardest in life and give it all you got. And I think part of that is finding a way to literally kind of make your mind strong. So I think when you go through these traumatic things in life, you want to try to add some type of like light to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm hearing that. Yeah, I hear you, dude. So like, what I'm getting from you is that you're a survivor. You're a thriver despite your circumstances.
Yeah, I would believe so.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's plenty of evidence for that.
Yeah.
So what bothers you about? So when you kind of say like, you know, you didn't feel much when you were traumatized. Like, help me understand that a little bit.
So when I was a kid, I just never liked talking about my feelings. I always just kept it in. Like, even though something bad would happen to me, I would always just find a way to just kind of like change topic and just not want to talk about it and just not want to let it out and just really just keep it in and put it in the back of my head and think about it later. You know what I mean?
What kind of stuff would you keep in?
Anything in general. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, just with any type of trauma, any type of like whether my parents fighting or, you know, whether it just be my grandparents having sex in front of me or whether it be, you know, getting stabbed in the knife in my sleep, whatever it was, any type of trauma like that, I would just always try to not really talk about it, put it in the back of my head and forget about it.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you're actually doing something similar even today. It sounds like you learned a different way of doing that, which is looking at the positive, trying to put light on it, cracking jokes.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing that maybe at one point you were like avoiding it or whatever, and now you've learned a different way to like move away from it.
Yeah, definitely.
So let me ask you, what's the problem with like not feeling a whole lot?
Scary. It's scary because like I'm wondering one day is this gonna catch up to me? Am I gonna one day wake up alone at 40 years old and not have any feeling at all? Any type of like, I don't know, any type of like ambition, any type of like feeling and admiration. If I said that right, sorry. Any type of love, any type of just happiness in general. Like, am I gonna be this empty, have like this void? Like, am I gonna? I don't know. I'm scared. What am I gonna feel in the next 10 years?
What do you think you're going to feel in the next 10 years?
I don't know. Hopefully good. I mean,
has your fear of this grown or shrunk over the last 4 years?
Of what? Being scared about my future?
Yeah.
I would just say living in the moment more. And I think just not really trying to think about it because I'm scared. I think nobody wants to be alone when they're older, bro. Are you married?
Yeah.
Like, that's your person. You know what I mean? Like, that's your best friend. That's your companion. That's like your rock. So like, you're good, right? How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
40.
You're good, brother. You're good. I'm worried at 40 years old. I'm not going to be able to find someone genuine enough to love me for me. I worry that stuff sometimes, man. I worry, I just worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a super legit worry, dude. Like, I think you said earlier that you're known on the internet as Aiden Ross.
Yeah.
Like, you or Aiden. And I absolutely, like, there's a decent chance you'll end up with a string of people who are not interested in Aiden, but are interested in Aiden Ross.
99% of people. That's right.
It's fucking scary, man. Sounds like the odds are stacked against you.
Yeah, but I saw myself up for it, man, and I used to feel bad about it, and I used to hate it in a way, but it's like I'm blessed at the end of the day, man. Like, I've done a lot.
You're doing it again. What are you doing?
What am I doing? Oh, adding positive to the negative.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. You're right. I did just do that.
Right? So the interesting thing is, like I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm going to say something.
Please.
I'm really curious, and you gotta, can you do me a solid? Can I ask you for something?
Go ahead.
I just want you to tell me what your response is. Good, bad, whatever.
Okay.
Aiden, how would you feel if I said I'm sad for you?
Right now, you just say, Ian, I'm sad for you.
Yeah.
I would ask, well, I'd be like, why are you sad for me?
Because I mean, you just told me that there's a 99% chance that people are going to be with you for the wrong reason. You're worried about being lonely.
My initial response would be like, yeah, man, it sucks, but what can I do? The truth. I mean, like, what can I do about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it would be like, yeah, it does suck, but I mean, like, what can I do about it? For real.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's the type of vibe, literally, yeah. But then when I'm alone in my bed, I'm gonna cry tonight. And I'm gonna be like, damn, doctor was right. Like, damn. You know?
I can't tell if that's a joke or not.
I get my feelings sometimes, man. It depends. Like, it depends on the type of day I'm having.
And what kind of day are you having today?
Good day.
Does that make it more or less likely that you'll cry at night?
I was adding a little bit of a joke to that statement. I'll never cry at night alone. You know what I mean? Like, I just sometimes get my thoughts, sad thoughts that come in, and it's just more thoughts that are just like thinking about my future. It happens every so often, but it just depends on the type of day I'm having. That's all.
Okay. And you said, how's this going?
I like this.
What do you like about it?
I like having an actual conversation with somebody. That's a good conversation, a serious conversation. I don't get a lot of these unless it's with my parents or close friends. And I think meeting is like, you're a stranger to me. I'm a stranger to you. I think meeting a stranger and having like an intellectual conversation like this is, it's nice. I like it. It's something different that I usually don't do.
Well, no wonder you're lonely.
Damn. I mean, I try. I'll tell you what. I know. But
what did you hear there?
I was like, damn, like, wow, damn, dog. Like, I say it like that.
Help me understand what you heard me say.
I said it's like it's rare for you to have intellectual conversations with strangers. You said,
right.
That's wonder why you're lonely.
I
mean, yeah, you're right, like, but it's hard to have intellectual conversations with strangers that want to leech off me and use me for things. It's hard to see the real people. You know, so
yeah. So like, it wasn't a dig at you.
I know. Like, I know you're good. I know.
Right, because like, dude, it's like it's hard. Like you don't even get to have regular conversations with people, bro.
Yeah. So like in person, when somebody recognizes me, they'll come up to me and ask for a picture. They won't even want to have a conversation with me. It's the same script every time. Hey, can I get a picture? They walk away. It's no, how's your day going? It's no, I'm good, man. What do you do? What's your name? It's no, hey, man. I try to conversate sometimes. I do, but it's like I would love to have a conversation with people who know me. I'd love to get to know them as well. You know?
Yeah. I'm hearing, Aiden, that you sometimes get treated almost like an object.
Yeah, for sure.
And let me, like, by the way, you got to tell me if I overstep or something, okay? But like, and I'm just saying, like, if you just think about it for a second, and anyone who gets treated like an object gets treated like Adin Ross instead of Aiden, like they're going to be lonely.
My point, my man. It's going to be very hard for me to find the one. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Well, I'm a little bit more optimistic. I
think I will? You think I will?
I think so.
Thank you, man.
I think you absolutely can. So can I tell you why?
Tell me why.
I think you're good at growing. Like, I think you're good at growing. Like you put your mind to something and you work on it. Like, you're a resilient guy. I think you had to learn certain ways to survive, and you paid the price for that in a weird way. So, like, the weird thing is, if you look at our brain, like, our brain can't selectively suppress emotions. So what it learns how to do is shut them. Like, you can turn down the volume, but it's not like you can just turn down the volume on some instruments. There's a song playing. You either turn down the volume or you turn it up. And what I'm hearing from you is that you turn down the volume a lot. And over time, you've actually learned healthier ways to turn down the volume. And so what you used to do is, like, I'm not quite sure what. Not really. I mean, we can, if you want to, at the end, I can pull out an iPad and walk you through, like, almost like lecture style, like what traumatic coping mechanisms look like in the evolution of coping mechanisms and stuff. And then now I'm hearing, like, a lot of, something that is on the verge. So a lot of humor, but also, like, a lot of, like, fatalistic acceptance and almost like resignation.
Yeah. So is that a good or bad thing?
It's neither. It's a strategy. So I think that on the one hand, if you don't, like, because here's the thing. If you were alone at the age of 40, how would you feel about that?
If I was alone at the age of 40, I don't know, doctor. I don't know how my brain's going to be. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Let me toss something out. You see if it sits with you, okay?
Okay.
I think you would be, like, kind of okay with it because you knew that this would happen, right? You always knew that the deck was stacked against you. 99% of people are going to see Adin Ross and not Aiden. Like, you saw it coming. Like, you fucking see it coming. Even today.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're not going to be surprised.
Yeah, but doctor, who wants to be 40 and alone, bro?
I mean, I think no one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hearing. What are you feeling when you say that?
Who wants to be 40 years old and alone? It's just like when I think about it, it's like, damn, like, it's a realization. It's like, who actually wants to be 40 years old and alone, waking up alone? I could have $1 billion in my bank account, doctor. I still would not want to be 40 and alone. I'd rather have less than $1 billion.
You would trade that much money for what?
A real one. A best friend, a companion.
What's it like to want that?
I just think, like, right now, it's like, I'm chilling. But I just think, like, later on, it's going to be harder.
I think it hurts.
Right now? Nah. Because I'm so distracted. Right now, there's so much going on. I'm, like, distracted. I'm doing a lot. When I'm not streaming, I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing something.
Yeah, but so when you say it's going to be hard, like, what does that mean? I
think I'm like 30. Most of my friends are going to be married with kids. And they're going to be doing their own lives. And they're not really going to have time to be kicking on me anymore. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing with this stuff anymore. Hopefully I'm still doing it. Who knows? But if I'm sitting there, I got nothing going on, no career at that point. I don't really think that far, like, as far as, like, career-wise. But I mean, like, I like to think, because I don't know, this game, I don't know what I'm really doing. But I just want to figure out. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay to be scared, dude.
Yeah, I think that's what makes you human.
Yeah, and I think when you don't let yourself be scared, that's what makes you not human.
Yeah.
That's what makes you a robot.
True.
Right? And I think that there's, like, I mean, by the way, am I, like, beating you up here?
You're not. You're making me think, actually. I like thinking.
Okay. How do you feel about feeling?
I love feeling. I love feeling feelings.
Are you feeling feelings now?
I am feeling feelings with you. I am.
What are you feeling?
I'm feeling very curious. I'm feeling very like open-minded. I'm feeling very interested in this conversation. For real, I really am. I like it a lot.
Okay. Okay. So let me toss some stuff at you. Okay. We doing all right? Can I keep going?
I love it. Yeah, of course, bro.
Okay.
Of course.
I mean, so here's kind of like, I think it's like it. So it's really interesting because I think you intellectually understand what you feel. I think you just won't let yourself feel it. Right. So like you recognize you're scared. You recognize you're lonely. You know, you use these words that are like emotionally bland. So you say it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
But like, and I get that, and you're right. It's 100% accurate, but it's also like you're turning off the color on the TV.
True.
Right?
Like, okay, doctor, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever? Obviously, I'm not trying to bring this up. If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine. I completely understand. Before your wife, like you were with many women, right? That you probably had no connection with.
Sure.
What I'm trying to get at is like, if you get with a lot of girls, there's no connection or anything. It's called like, in my generation, I don't know what it's called in your boomer generation. For me, it's called fucking hoes. It gets old. Like nobody wants to keep fucking hoes. I don't want to be 30, 40 years old fucking bitches. I want to be 40 years old with a wife and kids. That's the goal, correct? Right? Like that. Like that's like the fulfillment. But I think like when you're if you do that for your whole life, I feel like it's depressing and there's a void and you're not fulfilling anything. It's just like you're fucking a bunch of hoes. So you realize that you're the hoe. Like you're the one that's doing that shit. That's how it is now. My generation is fucked up, doctor. You know how bad like these girls, doctor, are so fucked, bro. It's bad. It's very bad. It's been very hard as it is being me. And I'm top asking Marvin.
All right, chat. This has been the episode where Cole doesn't say anything. With that being said, man, love you. Love y'all. Make sure you do something special for yourself today. I'm going to finish watching this motherfucking stream, man.
I just don't know if I do.
Because I'm very interested into it. And yeah, man. Love y'all. Have a good one. Appreciate y'all.
There's a certain amount of